I'm Nenekazi Songxaba. I work for Sanral as the environmental coordinator for the southern region. As you are aware that the environmental component is a big component, it's a major component in all infrastructure development. So as my role at Sanral is to ensure that Sanral complies with environmental requirements and to make sure that each and every development that Sanral undertakes, environmental requirements are at the center of that development, and to make sure that there's compliance during construction, and even if the project is at maintenance stages, we make sure that there's still compliance with environmental requirements. So my role basically is to look into the Sanral plans, and from your planning, design and construction activities, to make sure that we comply with all environmental requirements and to make sure that we mitigate any negative impacts that can arise from the development. So there are different legislative requirements. I would make an example for this N2 Coast Road, where there was a record of decision that needed to be issued by the Department of Environmental Affairs prior to the project, being constructed. There are other permit requirements from your water and sanitation, from your forestry. So if you are to affect natural forests, then there's a permit that is required. So there's a variety. There's a lot of permits also from your DMRE, your mineral resources and energy, if now you would have mining activities that are undertaken as part of our project. Remember, road construction will need material to be sourced from your borrow pits and your quarries. So there are certain requirements that we need to make sure that we comply with. And when we have those permits and the approvals in place, we must make sure that we still comply with each and every condition that is stated in those permits. So we have made provision with our environmental management plan that is now being implemented in each and every Sanral project across board. There's a different environmental requirements per project. So we'll have our environmental practitioners that would assist us in drafting those EMP or in conducting environmental assessments. And once we have the approvals in place, then there are environmental audits that are conducted. Depending on the permit requirements, it might be monthly or quarterly. And we still make a provision to make sure in each and every Sanral site we have an environmental officer full-time on site that ensures compliance to our legislative requirements. Okay, during the EIA or the environmental impact assessment phase of the project, we would conduct a public participation process where we inform stakeholders about the development. That is now informing them through public meetings, through your newspaper advertisement. We'll have signage on sites. We also use radio, sort of media, just to inform the community, the stakeholders about the planned developments. And once the project is in construction, we will still engage the stakeholders through different platforms that Sanral has. It can be your stakeholder engagement meetings, you have your PLC meetings, and you would have your Taking Sanral to the People, for example. So we still have those focal points where we discuss any issues with the affected and interested parties. But if there is any complaint or anyone who would want now to engage with Sanral, we are available to give information, to just communicate where we are with the project. If there are any concerns that needs to be addressed, we are available to address those as well. The most common issue that is raised is not really environmental, I must say. Environmental people, generally they want the project because they're looking for jobs. But as much as they look for jobs, but we still need to explain, that we will come through your areas, and there might be some of the things that would be affected. For example, if there are any graves that would need to bury, exhume and rebury. So we need to explain such things so that they are not taken by surprise when now the contractor is on site and there's graves that need to be exhumed and reburied elsewhere. So you get that people sort of resist, but once you explain the process and the role that SANRAL would play, and that we understand them, we understand their culture, and we'll follow whatever culture they want us to follow if now there are anything that, or there are things that need to be taken into consideration. And if need be, that we have to go now walk the road with the communities, we are open to that, to make sure that they understand everything. We don't just come and say, okay, this is what we want, and then we leave. No, we explain everything. We have drawings, and we make sure that we also have people that speak the language, because it's very important that people understand exactly what the development is about and how it's going to affect them. So the EMP, it is a guiding document for anyone working in our project. What we do with that document, it is part of each and every contract with the engineers, with the contractors. So each contractor will have that document, and they will need to make sure that they comply with the provision of the document. As I said, that we have environmental officers that are appointed in the projects that assist us in monitoring and ensuring that there is compliance with the environmental management program. With the N2 project, we understand that it is being undertaken. It's a greenfields project, and remember this area, the area is the center of endemism, which is a very important part, and you only get plants here, nowhere else in the world. So SANRAL had really to look into how do we then mitigate negative impacts to the environment, to the area. And what we have done, we have all the permits that are required. And in terms of your plants, we have protected plants. There are plants of specific concern. We have service providers that we have appointed that survey the area prior to construction and remove all the plants that would be affected, all the plants that were the protected plants or endangered plants that would be affected by construction activities. We've had holding areas where we've kept the plants, and then we've replanted now the plants to the no-go areas, which are the areas that are not going to be affected by construction. In terms of now the overall compliance, we have the EMC meeting, the EMC committee, which is the Environmental Monitoring Committee, that is made up of your different government departments, your DFFE, Department of Water and Sanitation, our environmental consultants, different stakeholders that monitor environmental compliance of the project. We have the authorities coordination meeting also, that also it's a committee that is made up of all the authorities that are affected by the development, and they sit, and if there's any non-compliance or non-conformance issues, then those are raised and picked up, and we work towards rectifying. But at this stage, I must say that with the work that we've done with the 2 mega bridges, I know Songxaba was recently audited by the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, and SANRAL was found to be in full compliance with the environmental authorization, or the ROD, that was issued in 2010. Yes, the misconceptions that are out there is more like SANRAL does not care for the environment. SANRAL comes in the area and does not consult people. We just do what we want to do. So I would really want to correct that. No, SANRAL consults people, would have meetings and would have agreements in place, signed agreements. So that is not true. We consult, we do proper consultation to make sure that we are in the same page with the communities. and that they understand the development and how it's going to affect them. And as I said earlier, that our really mandate is to make sure that the environment is taken care of during construction as well. So whatever misconceptions that people have, they must know that no, we are here, we will make sure that the development is done in an environmental or sustainable friendly way or manner. Okay, the search and rescue process is an ongoing process. Remember, as the construction progresses, there's new areas that we are impacting on. So it's an ongoing process, like with the to now, that we have a contractor that is starting to go down the forest areas. They are now starting again with the search and rescue. For Songxaba, it is completed. It was done in 2016, 2017 when we started with the whole roads, and then it was completed early 2018. And since then, we have not had any search and rescue from Songxaba. But it is an ongoing process. We have a team of specialists that we work with in the project that also advise us if there is any. Like, we have a forest ecologist that assists us if there are any forest issues that we need to address. So we also have your wetland specialists that we work with. We have your botanists. So for the search and rescue specifically, we have a team of specialists that guide us on the process. They come, they survey the area, they move the plants, they geotag each and every plant. We know exactly where these plants are. We monitor the survival rate of the plants, and if need be, as I said, now we still need to do more search and rescue in other areas that will be affected.